Okay, let's say that we need to factor x squared plus 8x plus 12. Okay, I can do that, right? But what if somebody multiplied all the numbers by 2, making it look like this? And if somebody gave me 2x squared plus 16x plus 24 and said, hey, factor that, well, what are we going to do? Well, we have to recognize that each piece has been multiplied by 2 before we can factor it down to an x plus something times another x plus something. So the key is we must always factor out the greatest common factor before we start the problem. So let's say we have to factor this. The first thing I notice is I see a 3, an 18, and a 24. And I say to myself, hey, Cecil, can anybody be factored out of there? And I'm like, yeah, everybody's can be multiplied by 3. So let's factor out a 3. They all have that in common. So if we factor out a 3, that'll leave behind an x squared. 3 times what gives you 18? 6. And then 3 times what's 24 and 8. So now I can go ahead and just factor x squared plus 6x plus 8. So I concentrate on the 8 and I say, hey, things that multiply together to give me 8 are 1 and 8, 2 times 4. Now I need them to add together to give me 6. These would give you 9 in the middle. These would give you 6 in the middle. And that's what you and I need. So this breaks down to an x plus 2, x plus 4, but you must make sure you bring that down. So when we factor this completely, it factors down to a 3 times the quantity x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 4. All 3 of these are factors. 3 is a factor, x plus 2 is a factor, and x plus 4 is a factor. What about this? Well, right away I see Mr. 2. 2 can factor out. Oh my goodness, wait a second. X cubed, x squared, x. What else can be factored out? An x. So you must pull out 2x. That'll leave behind an x squared because the x times x squared gives you that x to the third. Minus 2 times 4 is 8. X times x is x squared. Minus 2 times a 5 gives you the 10. And you've already factored out the x. So this one, wow, an x came out also. We have to be cautious of that. When we usually see an x to the third, that's a good clue that, wait a second, something's a little weird here. Notice they all had x's, so we factor out the x's. Now we must break this binomial down. So we look at the 5 and we say, hey, 1 and 5, that's it. It is a negative 5, so one of these is negative. So we look for the difference between them. The difference is 4. You and I need to create a what? Negative 4, because that's a negative right there. That means the negative will go on the 5. The positive will go on the 1. So we bring down our 2x, and then this trinomial factors to an x plus 1 times an x minus 5. That's how we do it. The key is remember to always factor out the greatest common factor first before you try to break down the trinomial to the product of 2 binomials.